Mr. Chair, Ranking Member, members of the committee, and thank you very much for allowing me to testify today on our 2024 Water Resources Development Act. Special mahalo to Mr. Larson for visiting Honolulu to look at some of our critical projects last week. I certainly invite the committee members to do the same. I have policy requests, related requests for your consideration, but today I want to highlight two critical U.S. Army Corps of Engineer projects that must be addressed in WRDA this year. These projects are located in my district of Honolulu proper, but both of them are also critical to the basic functioning of Hawaii statewide. The first is the Alawai Flood Risk Management Project, which was first conceived back in 1999 and was authorized and funded by Congress for design and construction in our 2028 WRDA. This project will address severe flood risk across the Alawai watershed, which is in Honolulu proper, running from the top of the mountains down to the ocean in central Honolulu. This endangers the life, property, and livelihood of about 200,000 residents of this watershed. But equally important, Waikiki, which is the engine of our tourist economy, our #1 economy in Hawaii, lies at the ocean edge of this particular watershed, and a flood of any magnitude would cause untold damage to our overall economy. The Corps worked over the last couple of years since 2018 to revise its original plan authorized in the prior WRDA in an effort to meet community concerns, and ultimately paused the project in June of 2021 while those concerns were addressed. The Corps has recently come back with a proposed revised plan at a cost of $1 billion plus, and that plan is currently out for comment on a draft EIS with an expected finalization in mid-year. The continuation of this critical project will require further WRDA authorization. Also in central Honolulu, Honolulu Harbor, the state of Hawaii's primary harbor, is way overdue for extensive modifications to assure our current and next generation maritime needs. Honolulu Harbor, which in its modern configuration was completed in 1952, is the linchpin to life in Hawaii. As an isolated island state, about 80% of our goods and materials are imported, and 95% of this imported goods and materials comes through Honolulu Harbor. So the harbor is not only the harbor that serves the island of Oahu, which we have our principal population center on, but is also the transshipment point for virtually all shipping out to the other islands of Hawaii. And by the way, it's also the shipping point focus for the exports from Oahu and the rest of the state. As I said, the harbor is way overdue for just basic navigational and operational upgrades, which are required for continued functioning for both civilian use and elements of our military communities. And Congress recognizes much by authorizing and funding a full Army Corps study of modifications through the bipartisan infrastructure law. That investigation is already well underway, but the Corps believes that the study authorization must be updated to reflect expanded complexity, scope, and funding needs. Additionally, in the course of this initial investigation, our local partner, the Hawaii State Department of Transportation, has strongly expressed the necessity of expanding the study scope to include elements of coastal storm risk management and resiliency. Providing this additional refined and expanded authorization will ensure that our critical harbor is designed for resilience and that this literal lifeline for Hawaii remains operational in the face of natural disaster and weather modification contingencies. Thank you again so much for allowing me to testify in support of these critical projects, and I look forward to working with the committee to advance these authorizations in our current WRDA cycle.